Hey y'all, welcome to Naked News, where we strip away all the things related to skincare and break down to the nakedness of it all and about skincare and pretty much about everything else. So I am coming to you today to talk about teens and tweens and skincare. Big, huge topic, very exciting. Lots of people are interested in it. So I thought I would come on and I would bring my daughter, who obviously is a tween. This is Gage, and I figured she'd be the perfect person to come on with me to talk about this topic and figure out what we need to do for it. So I want to go ahead and introduce you to Gage and to tell her a little bit about herself.
Hi, I'm Gage. I'm in 6th grade. I'm 11 years old, and I like anime.
She likes anime, right? Is there other people out there who like anime? Well, I assume there probably is. So when we talk about teens and tweens, I have both. I actually have a tween, and I also have two teens as well. So I'm kind of well versed on this topic. And what I wanted to do is, when we think about skincare in general, what do you think people your age that you find is pretty much the biggest issue that you have to deal with?
Well, I think that the biggest issue that I have to deal with would be acne and pimples.
What else? Like blackheads, like just general stuff like that, whiteheads. Okay, so that's a pretty common one. Actually, probably the most common one. And there's a couple different reasons for that. And one of them is the fact that the bacteria is one of the things that helps create the acne. So the bacteria that is around feeds on the natural oils on your body, including your face. And during the tween and teen years and puberty, that oil production increases. So it makes sense that going through that age, they'd have issues with acne. So it's really important to note that washing your face can help eliminate that oil and thus the bacteria. It's super gross, but yes, there is bacteria on your face, and maybe, just maybe, that will inspire your teens to wash their face more frequently. We can only hope. I don't know. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So another thing besides talking about bacteria is, how in the heck do I know what to use? What do I know what to use? And especially when you're dealing with something like acne that is very particular. So one of the most important things is an oil-free cleanser. And because of that, the increased oil flow, because of the hormones and the puberty, it's very important to look for products that are non-comedogenic. I don't ever do a great job pronouncing that, but you've seen the word, right? These kinds of products won't clog up your pores. So that's going to be good and important for your teen or tween. And the other thing is that it's hard enough to deal with their own oils, but if you're clogging that up, that's just going to make the problem worse. Now, if your kids in general are in athletics or they're just sweaty, they're just big sweaters, it's important to know that, like, for example, let's say they're a catcher, right? And they have that mask on. Maybe after practice, instead of like, I don't have time, Mom, I don't have time to wash my face. How about maybe taking one of those wipes, you can find them at the store, and just wiping it off. That will do a long way of getting rid of that bacteria, and hopefully, depending on which one you choose, is not going to strip the skin of those natural oils that are actually good and protecting your skin. So when you decide on a cleanser to ig, the key thing is, I used to think that's what we looked for, was like, oh, I want to get this big foam and it's going to be amazing, like some big bubble bath on my face. But actually, you don't want that. You might want to sit in your bubble bath with the good stuff for your skin, but you don't want it on your face. So I always say, including adults, save the foam for your latte. Because if you have that kind of soap or cleanser that is going to be foaming, it's going to disrupt the natural balance of your skin. So there's protective oils that help keep the bacteria out. That strips them away. So we definitely don't want that. One of the main things for teens, I would say, that makes their problem worse is the fact that, well, a couple things. Their phone, they may be on their phone, right? Or even if they're not, kids don't talk anymore, do they? What do you do instead? You text.
Yeah,
well, you talk some,
talk.
But you're touching the phone, right? So you're touching the phone, and what do? They're touching the phone, and then they're doing this, or they're, wiping their eyes. So all of that bacteria is getting on that. Or they're like, oh no, I have this here. Oh, I want to get rid of it, right? I'm kind of bad at this. I will admit I am a picker, trying to be better. But I will say that Gage is not a picker. She's good. She's better than I am. And sometimes I'm like, oh, let me get at that. And she's like, no, Mom, we're not supposed to pick it. I'm like, I know. Okay, you're right. I'm wrong. You should keep your hands off. You should not be picking it. She is better than I am. She's definitely better than I am. Again, it's that bacteria and just making things work. And also, you can push it underneath the skin, and it's not even going to be gone. You think you're getting it out, but it's not. So that's another reason to not pick it. Now, a lot of teens, especially girls, they're like, well, I have this really bad acne, and I don't want people to see it, so I'm going to try to cover it up, right? And they're like, I'm going to use this great big foundation, and I'm going to do all these things. But the problem with that, it actually makes it worse. Because putting those things on your skin can, again, the natural flow of your skin, our skin is pretty amazing, I would say. It's meant to keep bacteria away. And so you want to make sure that your teen or tween girl is not putting a ton of foundation on and covering up things to make those pores worse and making their acne potentially worse as well. Now, I'm not saying you can't use anything. Actually, neither of us have anything on right now, but I do have our peptide powder, which is a loose mineral powder. And that's what I would recommend for your teens. It's light, it's not too much. And if they want to do a little bit of cover up underneath it, not excessive amounts, and then follow it, the powder, and use like a kabuki brush, because again, those are great for bacteria to keep it away. That's a great addition to any teen's routine because of the fact that it's not so heavy, and it hopefully will accomplish what you need it to accomplish, like cover some stuff, but yet not really make the acne worse. So the other thing is that teens tend to do is that they're like, well, this is on here, so I just want to scrub it and scrub it and scrub it and like until it's gone. I just want it gone, right? And that's actually not a good thing at all. Hopefully you have chosen a good cleanser that doesn't foam that should be doing the work for you. You should not have to like scrub like nobody's business, like just keep going and going and going, because it's not good for your skin. It's not good. Make sure the cleanser is doing the work for you. A normal application. Now, depending on your severity of your issues, whether it's acne or whatever, you may even want to keep the cleanser on for like 1 or 2 minutes, like a mask, like a little facial, and then wash it off. But scrubbing it is not what you want to do. And kind of following along on those lines is that even though we want to be gentle on our skin, children who deal with acne and adults, we all need to exfoliate. And just like before, we needed to do that gently. So choose an exfoliator that is good for the skin. Also, when you have acne, you tend to have like some dry, when things are healing, you have like these dry patches or skin peeling off. The exfoliation will help get rid of that stuff too. So that would be good overall. But I would say probably 1 to 3 times a week. It's not excessive. You could do it more often if you had a gentler one, but overall, I would say 1 to 3 times a week. So pretty much, when I talk about acne, that's what I'm thinking about that. Now, is there anything else besides, besides acne that kids your age struggle with, like they deal with, and concerns?
Well, there are some kids in my grade that have pretty sensitive skin on their face, maybe their shoulders a bit.
Maybe some redness?
Yeah, redness.
Okay. And that's not uncommon. Sensitivity, especially going through puberty. And you want to look for skincare products that have things like hydrocortisone in them, protective things, especially if they do have sensitive skin. You don't want to be using the harsh ingredients. The acne ingredients tend to be more harsh because they are treating an issue. And sensitive, not so much. But I know that some teens and tweens think they have acne. Have you ever seen somebody like kind of around this area, like that has like all these little red, have you ever seen like they have all these little red, it looks like pimples, but actually more often than not, it's like a sensitivity issue. And if you use the right product for sensitivity, that will go away and it's not even related to acne. So that could be the possibility. It depends on the person, but that's one of the options that it could be. And that would be, somebody who has sensitive skin. But there's definitely, you should be using the product specific to your concerns. So if you have sensitive skin, you shouldn't be using an acne product. You want to use the products that relate to your kind of concerns. So, we talked about acne, we talked about sensitive skin. Is there anything else? Like, what do you think that maybe kids are kind of concerned with?
Some kids don't really like their freckles in my brain.
Freckles. I'm not prone to freckles. She's a little bit more than I am, but I think that's in care or lack of care. The reason that is. But look around. Have you ever seen a baby with freckles? Why is that? People are not born with freckles. Usually you're seeing them develop around the ages 2 to 4. Now we're talking about, generally I would say people who are extra prone to, freckles, like very light skin, low melatonin in their skin, or melanin in their skin, melatonin not to go to sleep, but melanin in their skin are going to be more prone to that. And it's not something that they're born with. And the answer to the person who struggles and gets a lot of freckles everywhere is, freckles are just not on your face. They're everywhere, especially as you age. They're really cute when you're young. When you're old, not as cute. Not as cute. All right. She's tired because after a long day of school, which I appreciate her coming on with me. She's so sweet. Anyway, so I'll let you yawn, but it's not because she's bored. She probably stayed up too late on electronics, but that's another thing altogether, right? Or watching anime.
Whoa there.
I know. Well, that's everybody. If people have kids, they understand. So, you need to try to sunscreen every day, and that means. We're like, well, I'm not really going to the beach or the pool, but how are you getting to school? Are you riding in the car? Are you just hanging outside? All these things are important that you need to use every single day. And, you think the freckles are cute now, but again, later you won't think that they're cute. So, there's a lot of other things that are good for your skin, or it's important to notate about your skin that doesn't relate specifically to skincare. And some of those are hot showers. So if you are somebody, I don't know, do you take hot showers?
Yes.
So I try to be good about that. I do not, because I know it's so drying and stripping of your skin's natural oils. And I know in the winter, it's more difficult to do this because you're cold, but you really want to have a milder temperature, not cold, just like on the high warm side, the more you can keep it down, the better it is actually for your hair, for your skin, for everything. In general, try to stay out of the sun as much as possible. In my day, I knew people who would put like baby oil or Crisco on their body and lay out in the sun. I mean, now we know better than we did back then, but you want to stay out in the sun. And if you're in, which kids, we want them to be in the sun, right? What do you like to do outside?
Ride my bike.
Right. She likes to get out, jump on the trampoline, do whatever she wants to do. But I'm not saying don't go. I'm saying you need to put on sunscreen every day. And if you do suffer with acne, you need to look for an oil control sunscreen, because you could be defeating the whole purpose if you're so great about washing your face and you're putting on sunscreen that it's just tearing up your pores, not good. Another thing is that your diet, she's really bad. She is not good at all. But drinking water, fruits and vegetables, eating right. You have to eat well. Eating a bunch of junk all the time is not good for, you've already got the hormones, you've got the puberty, you've got all these things going on. It's not good in general for teens and tweens or adults too. It's not good. Everything in moderation. I get it. Everybody needs to do that stuff every now and then, and I get it. I get it. So essentially, the routine that I would recommend for teens and tweens to start out with, and it depends. Like, for example, if somebody has acne, like Gage will get breakouts, but it's not excessive. So she's kind of on the low end of the spectrum when we talk about a regimen or what she should do. So she uses a cleanser. Let's say it's in the morning. So she would get up, she would cleanse her face. And, you know, it could be, for her, it could be either a sensitive skin treatment, which she doesn't too much have, or an acne. Again, even if you don't have visible acne, it's gone are the days where you wait till you have a pimple and you're trying to spot treat it. The key now is to wash your face to prevent these things from coming out, not wait until they've already done it. So in the morning, she would wash her face and then she would put on her sunscreen. If you had more, I know, see her smiling there because she's not good about putting on her sunscreen, even though we have oil control sunscreen. Right, she's not good about it at all. And the key is that now if somebody has more advanced kind of acne, more than her, you might in between there add some things, right? Did you do this? You're happy that, oh, okay.
Intense acne.
Yeah, you don't have intense acne. So she would be a cleanser, or if somebody has more, you'd add in a toner, which is also going to help regulate that pH, the actual treatment itself, the acne treatment, and then the sunscreen. So this is like day. And then, or if not, if you don't need those, for her, just be the cleanser and then the SPF. Now for the evening, obviously you're not going to be using the SPF. So it's going to be the cleanser. And for her, it would be some sort of a night cream. Maybe a sensitive skin would be a good one. You don't want it to be too heavy, something really light, especially because even if she doesn't have a lot of acne, you don't want to promote that kind of stuff. You know, like my age, I do a lot more luxurious creams because I'm not prone to acne. Maybe hormonal breakouts, but not like teens are. Now, if you are more excessive in your acne, again, it would be very similar. So it'd be your cleanser, it'd be your toner, your treatment, and then some sort of a night cream. But sometimes the treatment acts like a moisturizer itself. So you may not have that depending on you. But, you know, it's going to vary. What's the severity of your sensitivity? What's the severity of your acne? There's no one size fits all. Like, you know, maybe this works for her, but sometimes she has to throw in an extra step because she's having worse acne, or as maybe next year she's going to have issues. So it may vary, and you can make adjustments, you know, as you need to. Now, for parents, the key thing to know is you need to be, and to teach their teens, is that you need to be proactive versus reactive. Again, don't wait till you have issues and then say, oh, well, I need to get rid of this. I have this blackhead. Hopefully your cleansing and keeping up with that will prevent them from coming. So be proactive instead of reactive, and tell the kids, especially girls, but everybody, how important it is to set a routine. So kind of get used to it. I get it. Are they going to do this every day, twice a day? No, they're not. Even if they're intermittent, it's still better than nothing. I mean, honestly, as an adult, do I remember to do it 2 times a day every day? No. But also those wipes, that's a perfect time to throw those into. Like sometimes I call it a lazy girl's routine. If I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, I will use one of the makeup wipes, and then I will put on my eye cream and my night cream. I'm like, boom, I'm done. Because I don't want to go through the whole process, right? That's just a variation. And kids can do that same kind of thing. So, and you want to start them young, get them on a good habit, because love my mom to death, but what she did not tell me was how important skincare was as I aged. And you don't really know until you age. So, you know, when I hit 40 plus, I'm like, dude, I wish I would have really known this before. I would have taken better care of my skin. Maybe I was lucky that I grew up in Michigan where the sun wasn't so strong. So, you know, I had less issues than maybe somebody who grew up in Florida. So just in general, what do you think about, is there any other questions that you had that you think you might, you know, I don't know, people might want to know?
What if you had like really bad acne? Should you cleanse your face more than 2 times a day?
Actually, that's an excellent question, because if someone's like, oh, well, I have super bad acne, so I'm going to wash my face in the morning when I come home from school, maybe after dinner, and then before bed. More is not always better. The only exception would be, as I mentioned before, you know, if you're in sports, or you're just somebody who sweats a lot, or maybe you did go to the beach and you put, again, you should still be putting that low oil sunscreen on. But if for some reason you forgot to take it and you put other stuff on your face, maybe after to wipe your face off. But in general, 2 times a day is plenty good enough unless there's other issues involved. So is there anybody else that has questions? I don't think so. You can't think of anything?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, I think that I'm going to go ahead and let it go off to you, and you can close it out for the naked news.
Remember to click the heart button down below and comment any questions that you have about skincare and acne and things like that.
I know that not everybody can make it live, so if you do have questions, put those below. Make sure you share it with somebody who is a parent or of a teen or tween. And if you have any specific questions about specific products, I've got lots of great things that can help. Overall, again, your genetics are about 20% of the way your skin looks. 80% is under your control, and that includes your teen. So don't let them think, oh, I'm just going to have acne and that's just the way it is. That is not true at all. You can do something about it. So, just some comment below if you have a question. I would love to answer it. And I also want to direct you to my website, and it's realpamelaferguson.com, where it tells you a little bit more about me. And, you can see some of the products and such I have, but reach out to me. And thank you so much to Gage for coming on with me. She was amazing. Did she do a good job? I caught your hair here. Make sure you also drop in the comments how amazing she is. I appreciate it. As I mentioned, I had 2 other teens, and they're all like, no, I don't want to come on with you. She was the one that was good enough to agree to come on, because one was like, I don't want to be on camera, and they're just too cool for that. Luckily, in 6th grade, she's still willing to do that for me, and I appreciate it. So have a great day, and hopefully I will talk to you guys soon, and we will end this broadcast. Bye. It takes a second to add, so we'll just keep talking to them. Is there anything else?